Good evening and welcome to the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. Round 4 takes us to Brands Hatch in the United Kingdom. I am Tom Cairns in the commentary position. Alongside me is Jim Cunningham, who will be with me for the next hour or so to take us through the action here at this beloved fan favourite Brands Hatch circuit. We're into the closing minutes of qualifying. Johan Annette, once again, continuing his dominance in qualifying so far this season, and he'll be hoping to build on his points total after a super start to the season. Before his blip last week at the Rebel Ring, some form of disconnection had stopped him from competing in that one. And so in the end, it was Brent Ruiz who came away with the victory, albeit by only a few seconds over Brad Filligar, who is continuing his strong start to the season. So far in qualifying, it's Johan Annette leading the way in qualifying with a 1 minute 11.8, a 10th clear over his nearest rival, Guillaume Boussart. Let's have a look at the championship standings then. Now we've done 3 rounds out of a possible 12. There are a couple of drop scores to consider at the end of the season, but this considers all the points so far. Luca Ferroni leading the way on 106 points, 8 clear over Tony Jimenez in second place on 98. It's Scott Taylor in third on 90. They've got Jerry Bull, Johan Annette, who's won 2 of the races so far this season, followed by Amal Younis, Noah Fau, Ben Goyette, Brad Filligar, and Justin Fields running out the top 10. They've got Denny Cornu, Tom Donahoe, Eddie Amos, Alexei Yukic, Ludovic Ranson, Oscar Belcardi, Gabriel Meller, Mehmet Taski, Antoine Holsten, Syke Williams, Dorian Arroyo, Albert Harari, Andy Flynn, Richard Van Veen, and Kuji Ito rounding out the top 25 point scorers. Let's have a look at the team's standings as the season has continued to progress. Our Stukel Esports are leading the way on 117 points, 2 clear over Artelia Red on 115. It's Artelia Black in third on 109 tie points with Twin Dragons Racing. Then it's the RS Galactic Grid Gremlins in 5th place, followed by Modern Racing Prince GP. RRS Tokyo Drifter Ruse on 105, and it's Unity Racing White, who are the last team to be in triple figures this season. JPBroadcasting 67 and Artelia White rounding out the top 10 in that respective championship. In regards to the calendar, we have been to Interlagos, then Mexico City, and we've recently been to the Rebel Ring. Tonight is Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix configuration. Then we head to Hockenheim next week. Then it's to Stateside in Texas. That is Austin. Watkins Glen in New York, followed by Snetterton in the UK on the 300 course. Then it's off to Montreal that kickstarts the final third of the season before we head to Japan at Suzuka. And we head back to the US at Long Beach, California, and the 12th and final round of the season will be held at Imola just in time before Christmas. Let's bring Jim Cunningham into the booth, who's been waiting patiently to get his thoughts on what he expects to see here in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League event here at Brands Hatch. Jim, welcome.
Hey Tom, it's good to be here with you, and happens to be my second race of the day from Brands Hatch. I did one this morning, and I would have to say that the weather is significantly better this afternoon than it was this morning. It was a driving rainstorm for a GT3 race here on JPB Network, and seems like we got us a nice bright sunny afternoon for the Super Formula Lights cars.
We do indeed, as we see Sunday David De Hal, who I believe is competing in his first race. Now, I've just noticed that both he and Johan Annette are running Martinique flags. Now, in case you wonder where Martinique is, it's in a particular region of France, I believe. Apparently, Martinique is a rugged Caribbean island that's part of the Lesser Antilles,
yes,
an overseas region of France.
I've been there, actually.
Have you seriously?
Yeah, it was a cruise my wife and I took on our honeymoon, and that was one of the islands that we got to go to. So, yep, sure have. Just spent a day there, but yes.
It looks like qualifying has concluded. Johan Annette looking good for pole position. 4 tenths clear nearly over his nearest rival, Guillaume Boussart. We've got Robert Ridgway, who's coming over the line to complete his latest lap. His best time was a 1 minute 12.3. His latest was not the best. Narrowly slower compared to what he's done so far in this session. Guillaume Boussart over the line. His latest lap is not good enough to beat Johan Annette, and so he remains in P2. And Stefan Dodderer is on circuit as well. We'll see whether... Oh, and that's a spin.
That looks like it. I think that was everybody. Yeah,
Okay.
that was our last two there. One spins and the other one stops.
On that note, as the session transitions from qualifying into the race, let's have a rundown on where each driver lines up on the grid for today's race, as we're just waiting for qualifying to officially end and go straight into the race itself. There's no more drivers on circuit, so we really should be heading straight into the race grid.
There it is.
As we are, and here we are. So let's have a look on the grid for today's race. Johanet on pole position, Guillaume Boussard on alongside him. Then Stefan Dodderer and Yinis Amal on row 2. Brad Fulliger and Tony Jimenez on row 3, followed by Robert Ridgway and Ludwig Runson. Luca Ferrani and Andy Flint round out the top 10. Then it's the two French drivers of Noah Fowl and Mathis Rosito in 11th and 12th. Sunday, David DeHal and Scott Taylor are on row 7, followed by Clark Williams and Kuchi Ito. Justin Fields and Tom Donahoe on row 9, followed by Andrew Harris and Mehmet Taski. Denny Cornu and Don Kolka are 21st and 22nd, and it's Albert Harari and John McKenzie on row 12. Nathan Rosso and Nguyen on the 13th row of the grid, and it's Richard Van Veen and Doyen Arroyo. Kai Surumi and Eddie Amos run at the top 30, followed by Alex Lon and Shota Yokobori. And providing the rest of the grid do join, Scott Haddock, Gabriel Meller, Geitzam Inhofe, and Jose Gill running up the 36 who are scheduled to take part in this.
Yeah, they're slow to get to the grid here. I guess I think they have a little longer time here, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
You can see some of them making their way onto the grid. And I'm looking to see whether Johanet does actually make the grid this time. He is on the grid now as Johanet, which is good to see. Let's see how he gets on here and continue his brilliant start to the season. Victories at Interlagos and Mexico City. Now, Brent Ruiz, as far as I know, is not here this evening, but he can use this round as one of his drop scores. They get up to 2 drop scores for the season, do each of the drivers. So we'll wait and see. Johanet can at least use Austria as one of his drop scores for when the season concludes. But everyone is pretty much on the grid now, and we are good to go for the start of the race here at Brands Hatch. Round 4 of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. The lights are coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lights are on. Lights off, it's go at Brands Hatch. A good getaway from Johanet. Watch out for Guillaume Broussard, who's he's outside before they get to Paddock Hill Bend. Stefan Dodderer will fancy a look at it when there is a chance to do so. A little bit of dust kicking up from Johanet on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend before they get up towards the hairpin of Druids. But it looks like it's safe so far from the drivers that will have been briefed as to when they can start overtaking. I would assume it will be on the exit of Surtees, but I could well be wrong with that. But they are coming towards Surtees now and going through the Grand Prix configuration, and I will assume that they can start racing here from here on in. So there is Annette, and then we can see Boussard in second place. Dodderer is under attack from Yinis Amal as they head through Pilgrim's Shop. And we look at the two leaders, nose to tail, Annette and Boussard. And running wide onto the grass is Brad Fulliger, and that's going to leave the door open for Tony Jimenez to swoop through at Westfield. And Brad Fulliger is all over the place at the moment. He ran wide again through Westfield. That's going to allow Ludwig Ranson to get close in. But Tony Jimenez has made a mistake of his own as they went through the right-hander of Sheens. But so far, no major dramas from the field, Jim. It looks like they behaved themselves considering the nature of this Brands Hatch track.
Yeah, indeed they have so far. I was wondering if these two have got to be teammates. They're not listed as teammates, but their car. Oh my goodness!
Off goes Annette. Off goes Annette into the gravel chart, and that's allowed Boussard to go through. Dodderer sneaking into second place, but I just wonder whether those two are going to collide at some point because they were literally sticking together like glue, and I think that was bound to happen. At least we can say that Annette is going to have a fight on his hands if he is to come away with the race win today.
Yeah, well, and I'm pretty sure that that was a nice seizing of the moment there by Dodderer to take that spot away from him. Certainly going to separate him from what appears to be his teammate. I would have to check on that, but they appear to be teammates. Their cars are identical, so I would think they are.
Justin Fields has dropped down the order. He was running in the midfield, but now he's down towards the back with the likes of Eddie Amos and Shota Yokobori. Denny Cornu has also had a moment on this lap. We'll get replays as to what's happened to those two.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Just apparently.
Car off.
There we go. Yeah,
car off at Serlins. That is Robert Ridgway. I think has gone off. Is it? No, it's the Frenchman Recito.
Recito, yeah.
Matisse Recito has gone off for the Artendelia Racing team. That was a bad error there. I don't know who it was that came together with him, but either way, we are looking further forward. That's Noah Farrow, isn't it? That's gone off into the gravel chop. Is that Yunus Amal?
No,
I think Amal's gone off as well. It was Farrow's gone off. I think Yunus Amal's gone off as well. It's all kicking off here at Brands Hatch already. We're only on lap number 3. You can just see all the wheel marks in the gravel chop there, and that is Surumi going through the gravel chop at Druids. They're all struggling to slow the cars down around this course. I know it's just leftover dust from previous laps of which the cars have gone through, but this is turning into more of a challenge for these drivers than anticipated, and we are focusing on Tom Donohoe, who is to the outside of Noah Fowl, heading into Hawthorns. Is he going to get sewed up? No, contact made. That's Donohoe into the wall, and that's effectively race done for him. Too much damage that will be on that car.
Yeah, that's a tough spot there. I'm not 100% sure they touched it. It almost looked like a little net code there or something, but we'll see. Yeah, he's in trouble. That car's tore up. He can't keep it on the track.
Heads back to the pit lane.
All right, let's see.
We continue on with Bussard in the lead and Dodderer in second place. We're looking at Noah Fowl, who is continuing to be attacked here by Robert Ridgway from the Brabham Straight. Through goes Ridgway, and the next driver behind Fowl will be Andrew Harris. So it's another, well, he's basically an American sandwich, put in those particular words. I don't know whether that would be a bagel or something else, or whatever sandwiches you tend to have over in the States, Jim. Feel free to fill me in on that.
Well, it could be a hamburger, it could be, depending on the part of the country you're in. If you're down south, it could be a po' boy. You know about a po' boy? That's another story. We'll talk about that later.
Well, I know a sloppy Joe. I know that's another typical American sandwich. I can tell you that.
Well, I don't know if I'd call it typical, but it is it is an American sandwich, yes.
And the outside goes Andrew Harris. This is over at Hawthorns. This is where Donohoe lost it last time. And he was given more space, I would say, compared to how Fowl did with Donohoe on the previous lap. Through goes Harris. And behind Fowl will be the Turk Mehmet Taski, who is on the tail for the Turkish iRacing Formula team. Kuchi Ito is the next driver behind Taski as well. He's having a relatively decent start to this one, up one position from where he started. Albert Harari and John McKenzie are next. You could just see all the dust on Noah Farrell's tyres there. I wonder if there's dust over at Paddock Bend, where we've seen a lot of drivers having to go straight on here as they all make their way through. You could just see on the green stuff on the outside, there is some leftover gravel being left down.
Yeah, I would think there's got to be. We've had too many cars off there. Once these tires get hot, they pull a lot of that stuff back onto the track before they shake them off.
Here we are from the rear wing angle of Noah Fowl. He's got Mehmet Taski for company. Up through Pilgrim's Drop. And then they'll eventually head to Hawthorns Corner. And this is a super drive so far for Noah Fowl. He's looking to the inside, actually, of Andrew Harris into the right-hander. But Harris was always going to have the high ground on the exit. A little bit more dust being kicked up, or gravel being kicked up from one of the other drivers ahead. But that doesn't seem to be phasing Andrew Harris at this moment in time. But now we're ending lap 5. It says, is it say 38 on that lap counter there? I think it does, doesn't it, Jim?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I wonder whether it said 38 or 36. I think it's 38 anyway. Fastest up of the race from Dodderer, but he's just been overtaken by Johan Annette, who's beginning to make up for lost time after that running he had with Bussard on the second lap. And I think we're going to be in for a treat of a race here. Not one of those races where Johan Annette is over 20 seconds in front by the time the checker flag has arrived.
Let's see. Let's go back and look at that pass real quick while we were back here.
It's because Dodderer run wide at Paddock Bend. That's why Annette got through.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder if if Dodderer had enough to hold him off prior to that. So curiosity if he can somehow stay with him and get back by him again. it certainly adds a level of excitement knowing that he's got, you know, a couple of cars between him and the lead.
Net up into second position. And further back, we're seeing some changes in the field. That's Sunday David de Hull letting Luca Ferrani through there, which is interesting. Ludwig Ranson, meanwhile, has had an off, or he's had some form of disconnection, and it looks like he's back in pit lane. We'll find out more what's happened to Ludwig Ranson when we get a chance. But there is Clark Williams up into 8th place, having a better race actually. So far is Clark Williams, considering it is a circuit I would have thought he would know more of than a lot of the other circuits he's raced at in iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, for me, this is not a circuit I've raced a lot, but it doesn't really necessarily have to do with geographics, you know. It just, you know, just one of those, just doesn't seem to show up in a lot of the particular races that I run. I know, like, we go to Circuit of the Americas coming up pretty soon, and you would think that geographically that'd be a home track for me, considering it's only a couple hours away. But I don't really know that circuit that well at all, driving wise. I mean, I know it to commentate, but, you know, as far as having a rhythm getting around there racing, I don't.
Through Surtees come Harris, Fowl, and Taskey. This is the battle for P11 now.
This has
Scott
really
Taylor
been a great battle. I mean, we've had pretty much the whole race, this little 10, 11, 12, 13 area has been really good battle.
It's a fast-flowing racetrack. I think that's what's making it stand out. This is great driving from the field so far. Have we got any replays of incidents so far, Jim? Because I know we've lost a handful of drivers so far in this race. I want to fill the audience in on what's been going on, because we've lost Yunus Amal, who was running towards the front of the field. And Andrew Harris, I think, may have had some form of disconnection, has he? Yeah, because he's dropped down.
That was definitely a disconnection, so I have really nothing on that. Where is Hamel now? Running, what position? You could help me with that.
Hamel's in 31st, it's saying on there, but he's not circulating around the track. Oh, car upside down! Car upside down at Druids! I couldn't quite see who that was, but that was a big, big hit.
There we go.
As they came out with their Tusky and Fowl, but something had triggered up further ahead. And I want to see who that is.
This thing's acting weird. Like,
I think Scott Taylor was involved in it. Yeah, that's Scott Taylor who's continued on. But I'm sure someone else was. Someone else went barrel rolling on the exit of Druids. And Taylor's picked up damage. That can't be Harris, surely.
It's so weird what it's doing. It's like not wanting to show me the incidents.
It looks like Scott Taylor has gone back into pit lane now as well. What's happened?
Oh my
they
goodness!
came together.
It's Harris.
It was Andrew Harris.
Holy cow!
Taylor looked up ahead and just veered back onto the racing line into the path of Harris.
Oh, he stopped. What in the world?
Well, maybe not. Maybe veered was the wrong term that I used there, but
I mean, he seems like he
so
stopped
peculiar.
right in the racing line. Let's see if we can get an aerial view of that. One more time.
Taylor is going to lock up ahead.
Oh, okay.
No, he spins.
Right. Yeah,
he drifts through Druids. He drifts through Druids, locked up, and, well, Harris was the innocent bystander, really, in all of that. But he's effectively out of it. He may rejoin the race, actually, will Andrew Harris, if he decides to continue.
Nice,
I think that's Ranson has gone through on Mackenzie. Yeah, he's gone through on Mackenzie there as Ranson, unless it was a back marker which he overtook. No, I think it was Mackenzie.
Yeah, it was.
Busar is now 1.6 clear over Annette. As we look further down the order, that's Justin Fields coming back through the field, passing Richard Van Veen for 17th spot. Another one of the home heroes coming through.
So now, who was that Harris jumped over? That was Scott. Scott Taylor, right?
Yeah, it was Andrew Harris and Scott Taylor that collided.
Okay.
And whilst
Taylor's...
you begun speaking,
oh, yep, sorry.
Whilst you begun speaking, Jim, someone it was Richard Van Veen that spun at Cersei's just after Fields got by him. So he literally spun as I stopped speaking.
Oh, sure did, didn't he? I can see that since I missed it. Oh, yep, sure did. Just.
And Annette has gone round,
yes,
Jim.
He has.
Both Annette and Dodderer might have come together. This is at Paddock Hill Bend.
Oh,
they've come together violently.
Violently. Wow.
And that's Annette gone from this race.
Yeah.
And that's an error from his part.
Very much so, yeah. Yeah, he went off track there, and then it kind of, he turned it back to get it back to save it, and it was just right in front of Dodderer. That's all there, wow. Yeah, I mean,
there was another car that was avoiding them. And I think
clearly
that might have been
unsafe rejoin, but it's not exactly the same thing as a regular rejoin. He was just trying to keep it going and get it back on the track, and it just, that was really tough luck there for Dodderer, though. Holy cow.
We'll head back to live pictures in a moment. This is someone else that gone off the circuit. I didn't pick up on who that was actually on that replay that ran wide, but I'm sure he continued. Nevertheless, that was Scott Haddock. It was Scott Haddock who had gone off circuit, but continues running in 21st place. Is Haddock, so he's having a strong start to this one.
Yeah.
In 21st, he's got Dorian Arroyo next up, trying to make most of it. I would expect him to get by Arroyo, because Arroyo's not one of the fastest in the field. Not that I'm being harsh to him by any means, but on the basis of what I've seen from Scott Haddock in the past, he should have the capability to get by Arroyo sooner rather than later. But Dodderer, well, he'll feel absolutely dejected. Very, very unlucky. And this time, it was not even Dodderer's fault on this occasion. I know there's been a number of times in the past where it's been caused by him, but this time it's the opposite. It's Annette that got out of shape and took Dodderer with him.
Yes.
That's another car that's gone off.
Rosso, I think.
Was it Rosso that had gone?
I believe so.
For a spin at Paddock Hill Bend? It looked like it was Nathan Rosso. Yeah, he was the one that went for a spin at Paddock Hill Bend. Further up ahead, Denny Cornu is coming back through the first, running in 23rd place. But now we're looking at Dorian Arroyo, who's about to be overtaken by Scott Haddock at Hawthorns. Through goes Haddock. And I think that is...
Sorry,
that was Scott Taylor, wasn't
Scott Taylor,
The wrong Scott, yeah. That was Taylor who got by. Scott Haddock has already got through. Scott Taylor's now got by Dorian Arroyo. And then the next car behind Arroyo, fourth position, will be Denny Cornu. That car behind him, I think that might be Andrew Harris, who's come back into the race after that collision he had with Scott Taylor at Druid's Corner.
Whoops. Yes.
Doing his best to try and get back on the lead lap as soon as he can. He's running in 27th position is Andrew Harris. Andy Flint, who started the race from the pit lane.
Is that Arroyo? Yeah, that's Arroyo that's blinking there. That's never good.
And that will help the drivers directly behind him. And you are only allowed up to a maximum of those blinkers, if you want to call them, Jim. And then the session will kick you out if it happens too much.
Yeah, to be honest, when they announced that, I was really excited about it, because I can't stand running around somebody who's blinking in and out like that. And initially, it seemed like they were penalizing that pretty well, but not as much nowadays. We just had an incident up here at the front of the field Sunday.
Well, you say it was an incident. Yeah, this is why. I was just going to say Clark Williams is into 5th place, and that's because Sunday David DeHaal spun into the gravel at Paddock Hill Bend, and Clark Williams was able to get through that time around.
Yeah, that's and that was big. That was for 5th place, so.
What a race so far, though, from Clark Williams up in 5th place. The highest I've ever seen from him in this series, thinking of it.
Yeah, indeed. Up 10 spots, which was a decent qualifying effort as well. Yeah, Tasky's up there running in 9th place. He's up 11 spots as well. some decent movers up here in the top 10.
Absolutely so. John McKenzie's up 12. Albert Harari's up 10. Eddie Amos is now up 14 from his spot. Likewise for Shota Yokobori. Scott Haddock is now up 13 positions. So yeah, racecraft very much becoming a common feature in this race so far. We're on lap 15 out of 38. Guillaume Boussard is 7 seconds clear over Brad Fulliger in second place. It's Luca Ferrani, the championship leader, coming into this in third position. Looking good to keep all of his margin in the championship over Tony Jimenez, who's running in fourth place. Then we've got Scott Taylor, who is further down the field after his running with Andrew Harris. But they have to say the likes of Jerry Bull, who's not here this evening, I don't think, is well, he's going to have his work cut out in the remaining races of his to become champion this season. Yara Annette won't be scoring big, neither will Amel Younis. Noah Fout, through all his troubles in this race so far, could well make the most of their misfortunes.
Yeah, where's Foul right now? He is 8th place.
He's behind Robert Ridgway in 8th position.
Yeah, closing on him a little bit as well. Whittling that time down slowly. Looks like this is starting to develop into a battle here for 4th place.
We've got an incident involving Albert Harari. I think he and Justin Fields may have had contact on circuit. We'll find out what has been going on involving those two.
Oh,
Harari spins.
Yep.
And he just basically became a smokescreen.
Yeah,
to Justin Fields that clipped him.
Yeah, and he definitely. Oh yeah, he got him good. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, you hate to see anybody get caught up in somebody else's mess, Oh, speaking of, that was his own mess there. He got caught up in Clark Williams.
That's Clark Williams. He went over the leftover debris from other cars whilst running in 5th place. He won't want to throw away that anytime soon, will Clark Williams. I will say Stefan Dodderer has got a lot of ground to make up on Alex Lon if he's to gain a few more positions out of this race. He won't have long to do. There are no mandatory pit stops in this championship in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. Guillaume Boussard, man from Luxembourg, leading the way over home hero Brad Fulliger. Luca Ferrani is 3rd. And in 4th and 5th are those in your picture, Tony Jimenez and Clark Williams. And it's Sunday David DeHaal who has got Ridgway on his tail. There is David DeHaal heading towards Surtees in that red livery machine. He's having a fairly decent race so far. It's the first time I've ever seen him race. Was that some leftover dust in the air there that he's just gone through, or was I just thinking aloud? I can't really tell from that angle, quite frankly.
No, it's this is not the best angle right through there, especially with the trees. I was today, like I said, I was calling that GT3 race earlier. Yes, definitely some leftover dust in the air.
Oh, that's a car off. Is that Clark Williams?
No.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is.
It is Clark Williams. I knew that was going to happen. Touched the curb. It was a slight contact with the wall. I hope he hasn't sustained any damage from that because he's driven a really, really good race.
Was it?
As Clark.
Yeah, I guess it was him. Because this is another incident that occurred.
That's Alex Lon just going off circuit. I think it was just getting out of the way of other cars coming through.
Yeah, potentially.
Nothing major that.
Harari looks like has had another incident.
This is what. Oh, is this another one with Ferrari?
Yeah, it's another one.
This is a totally separate one because another he's been involved in.
Guess that was it. It was just a little brief off track there. It would be. It's not really showing incidents. It's only showing everything as an off track. So it's really tough to tell how serious they are.
We go back to live images and we see Sunny David DeHaal in 5th position thanks to Clark Williams' error. He's now down in 9th.
A three-way battle back here.
This is Scott Haddock. I think that was a butt marker that
that was Yakuba. They were getting by there, I believe. Yeah, that was Yakuba they just passed.
Yokobori, yeah. Yokobori.
Yokobori, yeah. Sorry.
Yes, okay.
I'm
Haddock and Taylor.
brutal on names. Hey, Scott Taylor is doing a fantastic job considering his car was a ramp earlier in the race. To not have suffered more damage than that, considering the fact that his car got literally leapfrogged.
Well, he's third in the championship coming into this, is Taylor. If he wants to continue that consistency, he needs to get up further in the field. He hasn't got a lot of time to make that kind of impression. But right now, as we look at the gap between the leader and the man in second place, it's over 8 seconds. So I think Fulliger's going to have to rely on Boussard making a mistake at some point if he's going to come away with the victory here today. I've been impressed with Fulliger, actually, because I didn't expect him to be as high as what he's ended up week after week after week. And it looks like he's got a good grip on how the machine of his is suiting, I think, his style, rather than him trying to adapt to the car itself. It feels to me like he's found a tune in this particular machine.
That's got to be an off track there.
Well, it will be. It's got to be, surely. I mean, he went so far off. Not that he gained any time by any means. Justin Fields, who, well, he's down a lap now on the leaders. Nearly 2 laps down, thinking of it. And there we see Richard Van Veen, who's another one of those who's had a spin in this one. Looking at Scott Taylor now.
Oh, well, something's happening up here. Let's see what this is. Oh.
And that's a car going off the circuit whilst trying to get out of the way. And that might be Alex Lon. Just
I believe
taking a
that's
trip
right.
through the gravel.
Yeah, that was Alex Lon. You're correct.
Noah Fowl in 6th position has Sunday David Duhal for company. Then we've got Mehmet Taski in 8th. Clark Williams and Ludwig Ranson in 9th and 10th places respectively. And Boussard, who, looking at the championship standings, I think this is his first race this season, to my understanding. Hopefully his name will be added to the driver's standings following this one, but he's done a super job today. Looking good for the victory here. And we ride on board with David Duhal. It's a lovely camera angle, thinking of it, as he closes in on Farrell for 6th place.
Thank you. I made that one, literally created that camera angle right before the race. I tried something a little different.
Over the line comes Farrell and David Duhal to complete another lap. We're into the second half of this one. Duhal going a little bit too deep.
Oh, he did.
From the moment he missed the apex, I just knew he was going to touch the gravel.
This battle back here is still going on. This is a nice little 3-way battle back here. Well, it's really 2 guys, and they keep catching guys as they move up. It was the Japanese driver earlier, and now they're on passing Van Veen.
And that's Scott Taylor and Scott Haddock. It's almost like they're in tandem here.
They really are. They're definitely working their way through the field together for sure. They've
Ben.
I guess they've passed about 4 drivers together since they hooked up, so it seems to be working for them.
Well, they're not fighting with each other right now. They may do in the final laps once there are no more cars that they can get through together, but there are still some more which they can make up.
Goddard is struggling, man. I don't know that he got that car right or what's going on, but he's off track unless he's just driving so hard trying to make up spots that he's struggling.
Running in 23rd position is Dodder. He's sat behind Alex Lahn, who's now just overtaken. Up into 22nd place. Looking at how many cars he can overtake before this race is over. I think he's only got a maximum of 2 really that he can get through before this race is over. And he's got 24 seconds to make up on Nathan Rosso, who's in 21st.
And we've got, what, about 16 laps to go, I think? Something like
15 now. We've got 15 laps left in this one. And it's looking good. Oh yeah, I think it is 16. I've miscalculated that. I was looking at the wrong number, actually. But yeah, there are 16 laps to go in this Brands Hatch round, the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. If you have joined us, do welcome. Get involved in the live chat if you ever so wish to do. I will answer your questions.
Yeah, please. Jump in there. Also, if you get the opportunity to like the video, would be awesome, or share it. It certainly helps the algorithms that YouTube uses, and will allow more people to see the IGP Fun League videos in the future. The more they get liked and shared, the more YouTube likes to put that stuff out into other people's content, into their news feed, so to speak. So any of that will really help.
And I think Eunice ML is coming in the live chat saying he hit the wall after some understeer he had at turn 1. Apparently he did the same thing to what Johan Annette did when he ran wide and tried to recover it, only to collect another car. That time did Johan Annette. And also, for our information as well as everyone else's, Guillaume Boussard is a driver of F4 IRL.
Oh, nice.
So it's perhaps no wonder he's got the pace as he has been.
Sure. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I wonder...
Dorian Arroyo's been in the wars, and so has Nathan Rosso, because I don't know if ever they've come together, some dust kicked up further ahead. Dodder at least gained a couple of positions as a consequence. What can you tell us, Jim?
No, I was curious. I'm trying to figure out where his flag is from. I'm trying to figure out what F4 he races in. If it's the Asian F4, or if it's the European one, or...
We'll let those confirm that to us. Perhaps Eunice ML, who's already out of the race, can tell us more about that. But Nathan Rosso and Doya Arroyo's premature exits has allowed Stefan Dodder to move up the order into what is now 20th place.
Yeah, that's actually quite a few spots he picked up right there.
And he also set the fast up of the race last time around. That's how hard he is pushing.
Yeah, well, that's so tough. You got a lot of respect to somebody who can, they know they're out of any kind of decent points situation, and they're out there pushing that hard just to get every point for the championship. I love that.
Now a foul ahead of David de Haal. And there's David de Haal on the inside. He remains on the inside, touched the curb a little bit, and foul left so much space on the inside, and it's easy picking for Sandy David de Haal to head through at Druids. And that was coming all along, I think.
Yeah, very nice pass, though.
It's just as close behind, involving Tasky, Williams, and Ranson for 8th position.
Yeah. Oh,
Clark Williams is off. That's not his first mistake of the night.
No, that was a big one, too.
There is David Hull and foul. Foul, not giving up by any means here.
No. Not at all.
As they head through the right-hander of Sheens, or Dingledale as some people may call it, because of the old chicane that used to be there. And now out they come through clearways. David Hull and foul on the Brabham Straight. How will this one play out involving these two? Further down the order, you can see Kai Surumi heading up Scott Haddock and Scott Taylor. So that is the next driver that they'll be chasing. Another new fast up of the race from Stefan Dodderer. And the ground he has to make up. I'm just trying to see on that timing tower that can maybe tell me more than the timing page I've got here. It says he's running at 32 seconds off. The next driver he wants to be chasing,
that's correct. That is correct. 32 seconds.
We haven't got long left in the race anyway. And so far, so good for Guillaume Boussard. That is Kai Surumi putting a wheel in the gravel at Pellicle Bend, which won't help his cause. Oh, someone spun in the background, Jim. I didn't see who that was. There's 2 cars off. Richard Van Veen is off, and I think Andrew Harris has got involved again.
I believe so, yeah. Van Veen for sure. Yeah, Richard Harris, or Andrew Harris, I'm sorry, yeah.
And looks like Richard Van Veen has taken too much damage from that. And back to pit lane. Oh, and someone else has come into the pit lane
Oh.
with an askewed wheel there. I didn't see who that was.
Van Veen.
Was that Nathan Rosso?
Yeah, Rosso, yeah. Yep, sure was. Tell you what, Brands is eating them up today for a nice dry day here, you know. This is a tough track though. I think it's I personally think it's underrated. You know, this track throws a lot of really big curves at you with the fact that you go down like right there and you get all this compression and the car has so much grip. Then immediately you start to go uphill, and right as you're having to turn at the top of the hill, the car gets super light. It just like it sets you up to throw you off the track.
Of course, these high curbs have caught out these single-seaters. I think they're designed pretty much more for the touring cars as opposed to these, with the nature of the curbs on this track. I do like the circuit itself though. It's really nice fast flowing, but it is still too narrow now. I think even back when Formula 1 was racing here, up until 1986, the track was too narrow really for the cars that it had. And that's why the permanent home has now been at Silverstone for as long as it has been. Now we look at Scott Taylor. We've just seen Scott Haddock go through on, I think that was a back marker that got by.
It was, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, these two are still steadily, you know, well, they've kind of, their progress has slowed up as they start to work their way up the field a little bit, but the field is really kind of spread out here with roughly 10 laps to go. I think everybody's kind of settled into their spots right now. We've had so many people off the track and having to go in and get some damage repaired and stuff like that.
Stefan Dodderer running in 19th. He's setting 1 minute 12s, whereas Yokobori is setting 1 minute 14s. The gap he's now getting down to is, what is it saying now? Is it saying 6 seconds?
Yeah.
Because I think Yokobori.
Yeah, it is. That went from 32 seconds to 6 seconds.
I wonder if that's because Yokobori's had to get out of the leader's way.
No, I believe this is what happened to Yokobori right here.
And so it was. That was over at Westfield.
Yep, and I don't think that was the only one, to be honest with you. I think there was a little more. Yeah, he was just struggling to get it back on track there, apparently.
Well, Dodderer's got by Yokobori now. That's another position gained for Dodderer. Next driver ahead of him will be Scott Taylor, 36
we're all in
seconds on the
replays,
road.
let's look at this one as well.
What has he been up to here, Stefan Dodderer?
No, this is just him. It was him passing.
Yeah, because Yokobori's been struggling.
Yeah.
That car will be wounded a little bit from the nudge against the barrier. Here we go, back to live images, and a fast stop of the race from Gilly Busama, I think that's meant to say, or Busar, I should say.
Busar, yeah.
I can get my words out, yeah. Busar in the lead has set a new fast stop of the race. Brad Filliger second, Luca Ferrani third, Tony Jimenez fourth, and it's Ridgeway, Sunday Davidahal, Noah Fowl in P7, followed by Mehmet Taski, then it's Ludwig Ranson, Clark Williams running out the top 10. Williams, despite the couple of spins he has had, still inside the top 10. And there is, I think Dodder was unlapping himself from, that can't be David Hull he was unlapping there. It looks like it may have been David Hull. Was it one of the Turkish racing? That might be Taski, you know.
I'm trying to figure it. Of course, it doesn't tell me because it wasn't a pass for position, you know, like a lead lap position. So it doesn't tell me who he passed there.
Either way, he's unlapping himself. He's not afraid to make those particular maneuvers.
I typically don't do this over and over again, but I wanted to go back. Something else here. Oh, he is really struggling. Look at this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna.
That car is not right.
No, it's clearly not. I'm not gonna focus on his misery anymore. Certainly went from bad to worse for him there, but that's unfortunate. So, do you know where this flag is from? His home flag here. Do you know what country that is?
Bussos.
Yeah, that's not France.
No, it's Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. Okay. Being an ignorant American, can you help me out on where Luxembourg is?
It's in between where France and Germany is.
Okay. All right. So more than likely, if he's racing anywhere near home, then he would be in the European F4 series.
So yeah, Luxembourg is surrounded by Belgium, France, and Germany.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, and the official languages are Luxembourgish, German, and French.
Which makes sense. Yeah, it's great. I love to see these. I love to see these real life drivers get in here for a couple of reasons. It's obviously good for them, and at the same time it's real racing time. It helps, and that's kind of proven now by the fact of all the people that do it, and also it's a big thrill for people to get the opportunity to race against real life racing drivers. It's a big deal.
Yukabori's made his way back into pit lane, but won't compound his misery, as we rightly mentioned. He has been off somewhere again.
Yeah,
and looks like someone
rough trip.
Looks like someone's kicked up some smoke further up ahead. There is a car going off.
Yeah,
that's probably to get out of the way. Does he rejoin safely? He does, just about. That will be Donald Colquitt.
Yeah,
we haven't spoken a lot about him today.
No, not at all.
But he has gone off the circuit at the exit of Sheens. I think that was probably the best way for him to come back on, but now he's having to get out of the way of the traffic even more, which won't help his cause by any means. Scott Haddock is now behind Scott Taylor.
Oh, there's a car going around back there.
That will be Colquitt, I think. And someone else is off. Oh, someone's in the wall. Someone's in the wall on the exit of Sheens. I didn't pick up who that was. It was Noah Fowle that had gone off.
Oh, he tore it up too. Let's look at that crash.
Yeah, he's been hit. When he rejoined back onto the circuit, he got hit by someone. Couldn't see who that was.
Oh, big shot there. Oh, my gosh.
Big shot. I just avoided Stefan Dodderer.
Yeah, that was a big lick right there. That car's tore up. Man. Yeah, that was rough.
Out of the race there. It's been that sort of event here. If Eddie Amos now up into P11.
I have to say, I did not realize under dry, before I spout off without looking, dry, relatively decent track conditions as far as temperature goes and everything, that this track was that tough. These are good drivers.
Ludwig Ranson is the latest to have a moment somewhere. I don't know where he's managed to go and do that. It might be over in the... Yeah, he's done it at the infield.
I show nothing.
He's now behind Kuchinski.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay.
There is John McKenzie, who's having to fend off Kai Surumi. Well, Surumi's got ahead of him now. And there is someone else, I think, is just unlapping him. And McKenzie looks like he's really struggling at the moment. And there is Scott Taylor, who is doing his best to make up the ground
that
he had lost earlier. Not long left in the race now. Oh, that's someone in the back. There's Kai Surumi in the wall.
That was big shot too. That was
on the exit of Sterling's corner.
Yeah, let's get a quick peek at that. Yeah, I got to get off this camera angle. It's not serving me well at all here.
I got on the curb. Too much curb. Oh, he did well to not come back into the path of the drivers there. That would have been very, very nasty.
Let's see here. Come back here.
That's Eddie Amos.
Scott Taylor getting by.
Scott Taylor, sorry, my apologies. Yeah, that's him going through on John McKenzie for position. We'll go back to live images. And we can see the race leader has now got a margin of 12 seconds over the rest of the pack. And Alex Lon, despite his difficulties, is running in a respectable P17. So hats off to him for the race he has had tonight. Noah Farrow has got back into the race though.
Scott Taylor is almost into the top 10. And considering what happened to his car early in the race, this is he was very lucky he didn't suffer major damage, and he has recovered very nicely from that.
And he's not done. He is far from done. Is Scott Taylor. Eddie Amos up ahead. Looking at the comparison in the times, 1:15.6 for Amos, 1:13.5 for Taylor. Surely it's a matter of time as Kai Saruma gets out of the way of the field coming through. So got back into this one very, very quickly. But now we're right on board with Scott Taylor. He fancies a go on Eddie Amos for a place in the top 10. We're into the final 3 laps of this one, or the leader is anyway. They've still got 4 laps to do. Have Amos and Taylor. And I will say, actually, that Busar, considering he's been out so far out in front, is now lapped the entire field. The next driver, the last driver on the lead lap, will be Kyuchi Ito. In fact, Eddie Amos and Scott Taylor have already been lapped. So they've actually got 3 laps to do.
Wow. Man, he is picking him up and putting him down, isn't he? Gee whiz.
Yeah. Amos runs wide, Taylor goes through.
Oh, yeah, that just made that easy for him. But it might serve him better to have done that, because he's got a gaggle of cars right behind him there. If he continued to fight, they're still all over him, really, I guess.
Not long left in the race now. Busar on his way to his first win of the season. And it's Brad Fulliger in second place. Luca Ferrani will continue to lead the championship after this round. With Brent Rees not here tonight, he's got a chance to pull away even further. In fact, Tony Jimenez is still running in 4th place, thinking of it. He's on the tail of Luca Ferrani as we enter the final laps here. Personal best lap times from both Ferrani and Jimenez that time around. It looks like we're going to get 23 finishes from the 36 that had registered to start. But all in all, it's been a relatively decent one here, Jim.
See where he's at in relation to the start-finish line. So, yeah, well, unless there's something major happening back there, we'll ride with him for a little bit here and give him his props on what a phenomenal run he has had as he's about to lap. Who is that he's going by there? Alex Land, maybe?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's Alex Land. He's gone by. And that is, how many times has he lapped Land now in this one? That is the 2nd time he's lapped him.
Yeah, well, and Lon certainly had his share of problems a little earlier.
By the way, it's been a stunning effort from Busar. Despite that running he had with Johan at the beginning, he has kept calm, pole clear of the rest. Nothing that Brad Fulliger was able to do anything about.
Or Ferrani.
Ferrani, yeah. Ferrani's got Jimenez for company, but they are going to run out of time to do any more jostling.
I believe so, yeah.
We'll go back to the race leader of Busar, who is close to the end through Westfield for the last time, through Dingledale for the last time. And it'll be Sterling's. And then the run through clearways. And then the Czechoslovak will be waiting for him on that Brabant Straight. Out of clearways for the last time comes Guillaume Busar from Luxembourg, who heads through the Brabant Straight to win in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. A terrific job at Brands Hatch for Busar. Excellent job. Brad Fulliger will come through in 2nd place. Another strong drive by him. He's not had a lot to do, but he'll take this result all day long. And it'll be Luca Ferrani holding off Tony Jimenez for the final podium spot in 3rd place.
Still a little... Well, somebody went off track there right there at the end of the race.
And we are seeing Robert Ridgway in 5th place. There is Stefan Dodderer, who has recovered to P14.
That's pretty impressive, too. Wow. It was not that long ago. He was in like 26th place. Wow, that's a good drive right there. I have to say. All right.
And that was a stunning effort. I think Donald Colcutt had an accident on the last lap, Jim.
He
might have
did.
enough time to. He might have enough time to get a replay of what he's been up to, unless it was a disconnection that he had. There is Donald Colcutt. Yeah, he's gone wide. He's going to touch the grass, and into the wall he went. And he went back to pit lane straight away.
That was, the only disconnection there was the disconnect between his tires and the road surface. All right, let's see where we're at here. We should have some results now. Yep. Oh, my gosh.
Today's results conclude with Gillian Boussard the winner. Brad Fulligar in second place. And it's Luca Ferrani in third. Tony Jimenez fourth. Robert Ridgway fifth. Sunday David Dihal in sixth. Mehmet Taski seventh. It's Clark Williams, Kuchi Ito, and Scott Taylor running out the top 10. Eddie Amos 11th, followed by John McKenzie. Then we've got Scott Haddock and Stefan Dodder, who recovers to 14th. Noah Fowl in 15th place of Alex Lon, who made up 15 spots to get to where he's finished at. Andy Flint, who started the race from the pit lane, is 16th, ahead of Justin Fields and Kai Surumi. Albert Harari made it to the end in 20th place. Andrew Harris also made it there in 21st position. Doyle Arroyo just got over the line in 22nd place. And then we look at those that didn't make it to the end. Donald Colcutt, Ludovic Ransson, Shooter Yukabori, Richard Van Veen, Nathan Rosso, Denny Cornu, Johan Annette, and Guyan, Eunice Amal, Tom Donahoe, Matisse Rosito, and then those that didn't actually take the start, Geisen Imhoff, Jose Gill, and Gabriel Meller.
And our boss must have superhuman eyes, huh? Look at the size of that text, would you? I need a magnifying glass to read that.
Well, that's why I've got a live timing tab on my PC at the moment. Yes.
Absolutely. Poor fans at home, though. You have to go run up and squint at the television to read that. But what a good race, though. I mean, I have to say I'm a little shocked by the toll that this track took on some really high quality drivers. You know, there was a lot of really good drivers there that struggled here today.
A lot of mistakes from some. But of course, we have now reached the third way mark in this championship. A brilliant result again for the championship leader of Luca Ferrani. Third place it is today, finishing ahead of Tony Jimenez. First time win in the championship for Glenn Boussard. And he'll hope to continue that form into next week's rounds. Although looking at the his previous one, I think he did race before this one, but he didn't make it to the end. So that's his second race he's done this season. But it's a first-time win for the man from Luxembourg. The next round will be at Hockenheim, Germany, Jim. I presume it will be on the modern Grand Prix layout one, not the old one with the forest. But either way, what do you think could happen in the next one?
Well, let's see. They're following the officials. So what does it say? Yeah, it doesn't say. It just says Grand Prix.
Just assume it's the modern one.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I think that's going to be a very entertaining race. You know, I wasn't a huge believer that track was great for racing, and then I ended up doing a couple of races in a row there that changed my mind. And it's kind of one of those situations where you put the right cars on that track, and it's a extremely fun race. You know, as you and I have over the time figured out that there's a lot of car track combos that really do work well, and I got a feeling this might be one of them.
Well, Jim, it's been brilliant having you on board. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you to all those who have tuned in as well. Do make sure you like and subscribe to the JP Broadcasting YouTube channel. And you can keep right up to date with all the action that's been streamed on the channel itself. It's time to sign off. Thank you to those for tuning in. And a brilliant day for Guillaume Boussard. First win in this championship. Luca Ferrani still leads the championship. Will he do so by the end of Hockenheim in 7 days' time? You know where to tune in to find out. I am Tom Cairns with Jim Cunningham. And we'll speak to you again soon when the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League returns.